Welcome, welcome, welcome. How did y'all feel the show went? Did you have a good time?
Great show, great audience. Y'all made it.
That was so much fun. Yeah, dude, y'all were so much better. Last year in the summertime, y'all were here. There was one table that was here. It was the horniest crowd I've ever seen. We did the Q. You remember that? It was just me and you, and people kept being like, "Where have you had sex in a school?" And it was like, nowhere, dude. I'm not having sex at the school. I hate the school.
Yeah, dude. And then we asked her who she fucked, and she was like, the math teacher. We were like, ugh. Yeah, dude.
Never fucked the math teacher, dude. You got to go science. They know anatomy.
Nah, you only fuck admin.
You're trying to fuck up. You're fucking
If
up.
admin's fucking me, I'm fucking them. Yeah.
If any of your coworkers are 30 minutes late every day, that's the tell.
Were y'all, was everybody able to submit a question that you wanted to? Could anybody not figure it out? We can take a question from the audience, maybe to start, if you've got one. You couldn't figure out the QR code? You didn't have IT to fucking bother?
Are there any older teachers that would like to reply all in real life?
No, is anybody being led by the Spirit? We can go. I can't see shit. All right. Oh, dude, it's so tiny. Good Lord, that's a lot of questions. If you leave us your email, we will only message you when we come back to Tacoma. Okay, I'm not telling you shit about Spokane. Okay, oh, dude, this is a lot of questions. We are not gonna have time to get through all of you. I'm gonna try my best. Okay, Ryan. No, wait, this is Sarah. What is your best I can't make this up story? Ooh, fuck, you got a lot of mine. Getting fired for farting is I can't make this up.
I got one. I used to teach a lot of debates in my class, and I like to play a game called How Long Till Hitler? Yeah, which, it's how long until a kid brings up Hitler, and my record is 13 minutes. And I once had to stop a debate. We were debating something like, should we get rid of the penny? And then at about 7 minutes in, a kid stood up and just goes, I am not advocating for the Holocaust, however... And I stopped him. I was like, I think we're done, and we're going to keep the penny.
I had a student tell me his name was Useni, and then I'd called him that for 2 years, and then at the end of 2 years, he was like, by the way, he's about to graduate. He's like, my name's not Useni. And I was like, well, that's fucking crazy. I've been calling you that for 2 years. He was like, I know. But that's what it said on the roll. It's not like I just made it up for him. And so I was like, what says it on the roll? He's like, I know. I was like, what happened? He goes, I don't know. And I go, well, what's your name? And he goes, Hussein. And I was like, I think I got a few ideas as to what might have happened, Hussein showed up at the border, and then some sweethearted woman like my mother was like, hey, baby, what's your name? And he was like, Hussein. And she was like, oh, no, it's not. Now it's going to be Useni for a little while till this shit blows over. And yeah, teaching's so stupid, dude.
You got one?
I had one where my students were getting in a lot of fights, not my students, but the students of the school, with just like so many fights, day after day after day. And so I was talking to some of them, and I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, you guys seem really upset. And then one kid goes, oh, we really hate the new principal, so we all decided to just fight every single day till he either gives up or gets fired.
Dude, Fight Club for change? Fuck yeah. What did you say? Like, where can I ref?
No, I said, carry on.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, God. Okay, how would you answer this sex ed question I got from a fourth grader? Quote, unquote, what is breast? I would say, very good.
So, I'm going to go with an answer that's not going to get you on a list. You're just going to look at him and you say, that's the part that makes the chicken nugget.
Everybody's asking, what is breast? Nobody's asking, how is breast? How is breast doing?
Ladies, get your mammogram. Got cleared a couple weeks ago. Only cost $800.
I don't know, if a kid says, what is breast to me, I'm going to say, but that's probably how you got here, man.
Do you know how? Okay.
Yeah, we were the pilot generation of sex ed. They weren't good at it yet. They were like, kids, the clit is a myth.
No one's ever found it. We all talked about it.
Yeah.
All of my teachers are like, the female orgasm does not exist. You cannot achieve it. All of my partners are very sad about it. Okay. Teaching sounds like an abusive relationship.
It is, and I actually have like hours of things to say about that, but carry on.
Molly says, teaching sounds like an abusive relationship. Like the highs are high, but the lows are so low. Do you feel like you hate yourself just a little bit? Jesus Christ.
Are
God
there
damn,
any school
Molly.
therapists here to help Molly?
Molly, I feel you with this spirit.
What? Do you cut yourself to feel something?
And in a way,
Yeah, we're gonna need admin. Oh wait, they're not here, they're not doing anything? Fucking surprise, surprise.
teaching is a form of self-harm as someone that really can't seem to quit the addiction. And then I view subbing as just kind of like a methadone clinic version of teaching. It's like just enough to keep me from going insane.
I can't believe you went straight to self-harm, dude. That's so funny. Yeah, no. I understand. I was 7th grade. I tried to get into cutting. I was like, all of my cool friends do it. Surely I can get into this. I listened to
Go ahead.
I listened to emo music. I had a studded belt. I had a pocket knife, and I remember all my friends were cool, but I had a dull pocket knife. I had a single mom. They won't give sharp objects to men. So I just had a dull pocket knife. And here's how I know cutting was not for me. If it's for you, whatever, seek help. But for me, I remember like really trying, and then the first time I drew blood, I went, ow. It's like, nah.
Dude, it's so funny imagining like a Hot Topic like kid as a teacher now, like that. Just like, tonight will be the night that I give you a B.
Dude, just leaving a PD. Where are you? God, I'm so glad that we have an emo table up front, dude.
It's the Pacific Northwest. Of course we have an emo table.
Every show needs a little self-harm. What'd you say?
I was gonna ask, are there a lot of emos around here?
Brother,
Yeah.
this
Dude,
is...
that's crazy. Go Seahawks.
Go Seahawks is so funny. Miss Redacted and other two okay to answer. Thanks, Caitlin. Fucking what the hell?
And other two.
And other two okay to answer, not please.
Just okay.
How is stand-up different from teaching? It's something we could have answered. All you had to say was, dear all three of you.
I would say the main difference is that here it's not frowned upon when you're drunk while you do it. And I have to wear a more uncomfortable bra for this one. Other than that, pretty similar.
Okay, what's the craziest field trip experience you've ever had?
I mean, we're from Louisiana, so we didn't really get like cool field trips.
I got one cool field trip. I got to go to New Orleans when I was in 7th grade, which is not a place to take a 7th grader. This is like right when the internet was becoming a thing, so to see titties, you had to go dial up, you know? You had to persevere. But in New Orleans, it was the first place I went. We were all 7th grade boys. The first place I saw titties on a billboard. They just had them on their marketing thing. They had one guy who was like, it was like an abstract art. I just remember all of us 7th grade boys being like, what is that? You just see like what looks like a woman's legs, and then you see a man's head facing the opposite way, and then you see his back, and you're like, wow, it's like the jigsaw puzzle. What is that? I've never seen. And then you realize, oh, this is a man with a woman on his shoulders eating her out. And you're like, they can do that? I just remember being in 7th grade, like they wanted us to learn about history, and it was like, I'm learning about my future. I'm learning about progress.
Okay, so I think we had similar experiences because I went to Blue Bayou Water Park in Baton Rouge, which is where you went if you were too poor for Six Flags.
Yeah.
And we were on a field trip, and a woman was going down a slide, like in her 40s, and her top came off on the slide. I was like 11, 12 years old. I loved church and holding the door open for women. I fucking loved that. So I had never seen titties. And all my friends were like, this is awesome, and I didn't know what to do. I got home, and my mom was like, how was the field trip? I was like, I don't know.
As a teacher, just on policy, I do not take children to a secondary location. So I've never been in that role on a field trip, but because I was raised by a girl boss mother who views parenting as a chance to prove things to other people, I did get to go to Italy in high school because I took Latin, which was awesome because if your parents signed something, you got to drink because they don't really have a drinking age in Europe. So I was spending like a week just getting wasted off wine at age 15 in Italy, and then we were in one of those like plazas with a bunch of tourists, and my friend came up with this awesome idea that he was gonna fake propose to me so that we could get free stuff. And so he fake proposes to me. There's probably 150 people clapping in this plaza. People are bringing us bottles of wine, flowers and shit, like tiramisu. And then we look over and our teacher is just standing there. And then I don't know why this was the punishment, but she didn't let me have wine for 3 days.
You got cut off.
She was like, you're wasted every day. You're getting the boys to propose to you, and I'm fucking tired of it. You're off the Moscato. It's fucking done.
She's talking to you about your alcoholism like Denzel trying to stop segregation in Remember the Titans. You will not have another glass.
Yeah, I think it was the opposite for us. We saw titties, and our teachers were like, now you get to be drunk for 3 days.
I used to make some noise if you've chaperoned kids on an out of state like thing. Okay. I would chaperone
brave.
debate, and so we'd take them out every weekend. And when you chaperone teenagers, they'll do this thing where they will illegally procure alcohol pretty much every time. And they're gonna get a noise complaint almost every time. And then you knock on the door, you go, it sounds like everybody's partying in here. And they'll go, no, you're not. But you don't have to have a warrant. You can just go in. There's no law.
Bro, you cannot say that about rooms full of children. You know you don't need a warrant. You can just go in.
Go in. First place you look is always bathtub, and there will be bottles of liquor there. And we would confiscate it like every other weekend. We'd end up with like a bottle of Jack Daniels to the point where we started getting pissed and we were like, these kids need to start having better taste. I'm sick of this shit. If you give me Taka one more time. Anybody else ever drink Taka vodka? Anybody else? Yeah, okay, no, that was just something false. That was a ghost. I thought that was somebody cheering. That was somebody breaking glass. What was your biggest rookie teacher mistake? Oof. Damn, trying too hard.
Yeah.
I tried to lesson plan really hard. I was like, I'm gonna get it down to the minute. And then I'd get in the class and I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, my intro? No, I'm not doing my intro. I'm begging for dear life. There's no chance. I don't know what my standards are. Your first year of teaching. Also, I tried to start a classroom economy.
Ooh.
Which you cannot do as a rookie. You got too much going on to try and adjust for inflation.
'Cause what? Now you're fucking running a storefront in addition to teaching illiterate children? Who has
Yeah.
time for that?
I'm like in there trying to print out dollars with printers that don't even work. It's just a blurry $1 bill. Rookie mistakes?
I don't know, assuming that my students know background knowledge before I teach a lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like
tough.
teaching a lesson. They'll raise their hand. I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, question. And they were like, who is Martin Luther King? And I'm like, oh, no. All right, well, let's start at the beginning.
I look back, and for context, this is fucked up, but they let me start teaching high school when I was 21. And I used to dress like business professional every single day. And I look back at pictures and I'm like, who the fuck is that flight attendant in my classroom? just fucking like a kitten heel, an updo. You could do a good kitten heel, I think.
What's a kitten heel?
Like a little heel.
Oh, a little heel? I should
Yeah.
probably. I got flat feet. I actually need a kitten heel.
Yeah. You get a little Ron DeSantis. Yeah, you could be up here.
A little Ron DeSantis.
Do your lessons, kids.
There's no such thing as Black history.
I'm gonna tell you all something that needs to stay in the confidence of this room. That's gonna fucking blow your mind as people who live in Washington. I used to teach in Florida, and I got a check in the mail from Ron DeSantis that said, "God bless the great state of Florida." Cashed that shit immediately.
I assume if you get a check in Florida, they're like, you actually owe us $380.
Okay, I think we've got like a few more. I think we can get through 3. Best prank you've seen at school.
Finally, some good shit.
Where did that come? That was guttural. What? Okay, do you have one? No, you don't have one. Okay, you're
Just excited, looking for options.
I love you so much. I love somebody that's pumped. A good prank?
I mean, it's weird because like when I did pranks in high school, they were like malicious but like recoverable. Yeah, you know, it was different. Like my senior prank was we got a big ass ladder on my school, and on the side of the school we wrote down our principal's name, address, and wife's name. And so they couldn't get it down. But now, like, the pranks are like the kids stealing my credit card and using it on DraftKings. So it's just different.
Do you have one? Do you have a favorite prank?
I like to prank the This is mean. I shouldn't do this, but it's funny, so I keep doing it. I take, again, the government-issued Chromebooks, and they have, like, a case on them, and they put a sticker that has their name and student number, so they know whose is whose. So I'll switch a bunch of the cases.
What the fuck, dude? That is Joker-level behavior. You are watching the world burn for nothing. That's fucked up.
You're gonna pay $60 at the end of the year, you little bitch.
I'm not evil. I only do it while they're within the same classroom. And then after like 15 minutes of them struggling, I switched a bunch of them. And then that is actually an SEL lesson on teamwork.
Talk to your neighbor, learn from your neighbor. I think the best prank I ever saw I was a part of. When I was a freshman in high school, we learned from one of the seniors that you could access the intercom from the classroom telephones if you just dialed like 090 star. And so my coach was our teacher, homeroom, and he would always show up like 10 minutes late every single time. It was in the T buildings, which is in Louisiana. We used to have trailers as classrooms, and we'd be out there amongst the trash. And so this is at the time of Motorola Razors. And so we had just gotten Bluetooth ringtones. Do you remember that? How quick that went around? So we'd always pass them around. And then our friend Michael had this very funny one. And so we got this idea that for the announcement, we were gonna try and hack the intercom. And so the announcement, like homeroom, everybody goes in, we're quiet. I'm like looking out the door. We have 3 people on lookout. And then Michael's sitting down at the teacher's desk, and you hear the intercom come on, right? Or like the bell ring, like, hey, we're about to start. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So you hear beep. And then Michael picks up the phone. And then we didn't hear it. We could only hear it from his phone. But he put up, my neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack, motherfucker, my neck, my back. And then we didn't know if it worked. But when homeroom let out and we walked out amongst the trash, And the trash goes, "Did you hear the Pledge of Allegiance?" Somebody played a song, and then Michael was like, "It was me." Michael knew that what he had done was cool. He didn't let any of us take credit for it. He was like, "It was me. None of these fucking losers. It was me." He got suspended, which was real big dog shit. But the funniest thing about it to me is the girl going, "Did you hear the Pledge of Allegiance?" It's just so funny to think about. My neck, my back, indivisible, with my pussy and my crack. It's such a good Pledge of Allegiance, dude. We got to bring pranking back. Pranking was like, it used to be fun, and now it's like, I don't know, they're just they're zip tying your backpack to your desk. That's actually a good idea. I might have to do that. I just kind of made that up on the spot, but I think that's actually a pretty good.
Have you ever seen the, I forget what it's called. They have a name for it, but when they put someone's backpack inside out.
Turtling.
Yeah.
What?
It's called turtling.
So like you're doing your work, minding your business, being studious, and then some kind of asshole like one of us comes beneath your desk. We take your book bag, we turn it inside out, but put all your stuff in it, so that when you try and leave, there's no straps or zippers, and you're just like.
That's adorable.
Yeah, we did that in high school. We did that to Jeremy in Spanish class, and I'm pretty sure he said hate crimes in Spanish.
All right, I think we've got time for two more. Question for Steven. Why is your Instagram named formerly Fat Steven? Let me tell you something, Tacoma. I might go back to Spokane. Y'all keep acting like this.
Did you tell him why that's your nickname?
No, but I don't like the way they worded the question.
They put formally in bold.
Dude, I can't. Lou and I used to work at this bar in college, and we were both bouncers, and everybody at that bar used to call me Fat Steven. I was 350 pounds. They were right. They were right. You don't have to, it was true. But also, I was the only Steven that worked at that bar, which is like, you know what I mean? They didn't need a fucking adjective. There was no need for a descriptor at all. We had 3 Tylers.
Dude, we had 3 Tylers. One of them was fat. We didn't call him Fat Tyler.
It was just me. And then I lost 100 pounds. So I went from 350 down to 250. My life didn't get better, dude. It didn't. If you're fat, stay fat. You're not going to get laid more. Don't lose weight. Gain confidence, okay? That's all you need. Because that's what I had. I never needed to lose weight. I was confident even at 350. I have the opposite of body dysmorphia. I think I look good no matter what. I could walk past a mirror at 350 butt naked and be like, "You're killing it."
Dude, that's crazy.
That's a good move. So then when I lost that weight, dude, you couldn't tell me shit. I remember stepping back into the bar. I think you were there, dude. This might have been you. I don't even remember who it was. I'm traumatized by it. But I stepped back in at 250. I felt hot as hell, and I was like, I hadn't seen him in a year. I was like, "What's up, everybody?" And somebody goes, "Oh, what's up, not so fat Steven?" And I was like, "God damn it." I couldn't even get formerly Fat Steven. The artist previously known as Fat Steven? No. You can lose the weight, but you cannot lose the adjective. That is who you are. So I make it formerly Fat Steven because my name is Steven Taylor, which sounds like Steven Tyler. And anytime somebody goes, "What's your name on Instagram?" And I go, "Steven Taylor," they go, "Steven Tyler?" And I go, "I'm going to fucking kill you." So now I make it formerly Fat Steven, and now what sucks is when I tell people that, they'll type in formally Fat Steven, which is just like, "Oh, yes, I'm here." Indubitably, I am chubby. I don't like the way you.
Steven is just the name of a tuxedo store for big and talls.
That would be nice.
Fast.
Yeah. I had a kid one time. The way you just phrased that question is like one of my African students. I had this African student named Raponce, and he was like this diehard Christian kid. He would play like Rwandan gospel music. That was like the only music that he knew. And one day he walked up to me. He was not trying to be mean. He was not trying to hurt me, but he did. He just walked up to me and he goes, "Mister." And I go, "Yeah, what's up, Rapunzel?" And he goes, "You are not very fat." Just out of nowhere. And I said, "Were you talking to somebody?" And he goes, "No." Why'd you have to use the word very? Very hurts so much more. But I appreciate it. I forgot that question was only for me. It hurt me. I didn't even look through the other questions. All right, we got 2 more because I took that last one. Follow us all on TikTok. What the fuck are you talking about? What's the best tea? What's the best tea your students spilled about their parents? Damn, that's a good question.
Ooh.
Okay.
I have a lot of good ones for this because, again, I teach 11th grade, and that's a time for a lot of kids where they realize their parents are people. And one girl, this isn't even really tea, but more of a complaint. This one girl was like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about an issue I'm having with my mom." And I was like, "Okay, let's talk about it." And she goes, "Is it normal for your mom to have, like, the worst taste in men humanly possible?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think all of our moms have the worst taste in men humanly possible." And then she goes, "Yeah, I don't know if she has a self-esteem thing, but..." And this is why I love Gen Z. Follows up with, "I'm gonna have to put up some boundaries because I can't deal with this bullshit anymore."
You meet the dad at parent-teacher, the stepdad at parent-teacher conferences. It's Ron DeSantis.
You just reminded me of one so much better.
Did
Okay.
somebody fuck Ron DeSantis? What?
No. So I had this student who she had like a mental development situation thing going on, but was like academically like very above her peers, but social emotionally had some issues. And so who I thought was her parents came to parent-teacher conferences, we're talking, and the dad in particular was like, "Really don't baby her, we need to hold high expectations, like that's how she's gonna improve." And so the next day, she was like wanting a lot of help with something, and I was like, "Oh, I think we should listen to your dad, and you should try and do this independently." And she goes, "That guy is not my dad. That is just some guy from Detroit that likes my mom."
From Detroit is so hurtful.
I was like, "Oh." And in that guy's defense, her mom was hot as fuck. Like,
Dude, not even giving him a name is tough. Not even like, "That's Todd from Detroit." That is some man. I love that.
Okay, so
This is the last question, but it made me laugh, whoever submitted it, so I'm going to let Lou.
it made me laugh too for a different reason. What is a penis, Charles Carr?
Was that you? Whoever it was very funny. I think that's a good place that we can end. Did you have a good time tonight?